Mulligan is a cultist? What the fuck is going on here?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Alan Wake 2. So we just finished exploring the trailer. When we walked out, we saw I don't know if they were a taken version of Mulligan. It looked like it was a taken version of him. And that means that Thornton is probably not far behind. So we're going to try to find him. But first, we're going to take a look around real quick before we do.
Thornton too? God damn it. And now they're all taken?
I wonder how they became taken by the Dark Presence. I wonder if we're ever going to find out. There's a possibility that there's some manuscript pages that will talk about it, or instances where we will get sort of like a background as to why they were taken. But for now, let's try to find them and see where they went.
I need to go back. Got a case to solve. The headline about Logan wasn't real. Don't think about it. The cult has the clicker. Get it? Fix this.
So the Coast Guard brothers did say that they were making floats back here, but this one seems a little, I don't know. It seems a little dark for a Deer Fest float, but what do I know?
This is the workshop from the photo with the cultists. This is where they had the clicker, if it's still here. I need to find it.
So we're gonna look around for a little bit just to pick up any resources, tools, or weapons that may be here before we continue on, because we have to find where Mulligan and Thornton went. They walked this way into this building, but when we walked in immediately afterwards, we didn't see anybody. So it's quite possible that they went into another room or they disappeared using the shadows to transport themselves to another location.
That's a good deer.
Stop right there. The shape stumbled out of the dark toward Deputy Mulligan. Thornton was doubled over, coughing. A chunk of cold pastrami caught in his throat. Bring it, fucker. Mulligan fired. Thornton hacked the pastrami out of his windpipe, opened fire with his partner. The monster fell. They kept shooting. The thrill of domination. This was the cult of the tree. Not one tree. A forest. Secret knowledge in a deer mask. A last line of defense. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Bright Falls' fucking finest. They crept over, pulling out their flashlights. The horror. This is Monica from the tackle shop. An innocent woman. Thornton's pastrami came back up.
So the page talks about them having a feeling of domination while they were basically like shooting at this person. And I'm wondering if in that moment the dark presence had already gotten a hold of their minds. Because when we met them, they were kind of bumbling, just kind of like, we don't really want to have to do all this work, but we'll do it because it's our job. But we'd much rather not be doing it, you know? They gave off that vibe. But with them killing somebody, either in negligence or accident or both, they open themselves up to be taken by the dark presence, which, as I said in the previous video, the dark presence always seems to go for people that already have a touch of darkness within them. There's a lot of evidence on this computer of the Koskela brothers talking to people that may be a part of the cult of the tree. And I think Saga already kind of suspects that they might be a part of it, but it's not like fully fleshed out suspicion. It's just kind of like, I have an inkling, but I don't have any other evidence to back it up. So let's keep going.
Hideout. Their headquarters, even? A fuse. Could come in handy. There's a basement.
Before we go down into that sub-level, let's take a look around to see if we can find any more files for our case board. So we have found possibly the headquarters of the Cult of the Tree. This could just be one of many, but it seems like this is one of their headquarters. And on the board here, it has a lot of notes.
The cult is leaving supplies around for themselves. This will be
So I have a note about the clicker that had washed up on the shore of the lake. Alan lost that in the last game. And then we have a note about the stashes and also maps that have locations of where they are. Then there's notes about rituals on what to do with the clickers. So it looks like they're cleansing them in sorts, which is probably what they were doing at the beginning of the game with
The
Nightingale.
cult isn't well organized. People aren't following orders.
Definitely agree with Saga that they are not organized because according to this note, they need people to be faster with setting everything up, to 100% positive that there's people looking out to make sure nobody's like bothering them, and to communicate if there's an issue. Because at the beginning of the game, the two true crime podcasters showed up at the forest and interrupted their ritual that they were doing with Nightingale, which is probably why Nightingale turned into a monster, because it looks like when they turned the clicker on inside the body, none of those people turned into monsters, but when they didn't do it with the clicker with Nightingale, he turned into one. And so I think by accident they created a monster.
Worth following up on later. No. Logan's not dead. Doesn't look right. Makes sense. Nope. Okay. doesn't make sense. No. This is one weird cult. Rose. She's that waitress from the diner.
I wonder if they sing that chant before they go out and do their thing. We also have here I guess it's a timeline of the waitress from the diner. I want to say that she's the same waitress from the first game, but I don't think that she is. I have to look it up. I'll look it up and I'll tell you later. Probably not in this video, but maybe in the next one. So I'll try to remember to do that. But if it's the same waitress from the first one, in the first game, she got possessed by the dark presence, and she lures Alan and Barry, his agent, to her trailer, and they find in her trailer that she has a lot of paraphernalia of like Alan Wake, basically posters, cutouts, sign-in cutouts to have like his face and like the book and stuff like that he's doing, and he was felt uncomfortable, and I would feel uncomfortable too, but if that's your favorite book, okay, that's fine. We already knew that the FBC was watching Cauldron Lake and the surrounding areas of Bright Falls and Watery. According to Control, they've been watching the Cauldron Lake area for 10, 13 years, which is about the time that Alan has been missing for. Because at the time of Control, if you play the game, there's a DLC that you can play where you, as Jesse, the main character of Control, communicates with Alan, and he talks about how the Dark Presence has infected a researcher for the FBC, and that the FBC didn't really know what to do with him, so they just kind of locked him away, but he escaped. And so the whole point of the DLC is that you have to defeat this darkness-infused creature, and then that's when they kind of talk about, oh, there's a altering world event that's going to happen, but it's not going to happen for another like 12, 13 years. And that kind of is your clue if you played that there's going to be an Alan Wake 2.
Shit. Hey! Freeze! playing with me. I was so close.
There was another overlap here in Watery. The parade float was the key. Mulligan and Thornton had gone there, taken the clicker, left this monster here to stop her.
There's an overlap here, like there was at Cauldron Lake. Mulligan and Thornton are like Nightingale. Inside, waiting. And a parade float is the key. Ataken is upstairs. This was a trap. Okay. Now where's that parade float? Is this the parade float the page mentioned?
The overlap formed around Watery's dark past. The ritual to enter was tied to crafting the float. Art was the key. It had the power to let Saga in.
At Cauldron Lake, giving the poem and the heart to the witch sign opened the overlap. Here, it's the parade float. But it's incomplete. This is Wandis. Not sure what Puko means, but it looks like the knife is missing. How come one of them is wearing a mask and the other isn't? Stabbing, again and again. That must mean the arm's supposed to move. I don't hear any haunting laughter. Another Alex Casey lunchbox? So this is the Koskela Brothers parade float. Looks like only 4 pieces are missing. The mask is the only one without a location listed. Gift shop. Easy. Espresso Express. Got it. I can't make out what it says. Fair Trade Fun Zone.
You think I'd be able to grab one of these deer masks to complete the Hoatari parade boat that the Koskela brothers are working on, but it's not that type of mask. We have to find a different one according to the manuscript pages.
I already took care of all this. Oh. Is missing a soundtrack? The float killer isn't wearing a mask. Maybe he needs one. The float killer used a knife. Art? Imitating life? I figured out what the float is missing. The materials listed for the parade float mention a mask. Where is it?
Poor Mocha Moose. He never failed to amuse me. Now we know, Ilmo, there is such a thing as too much coffee. Mocha will live on in a place of honor. He lost his head. Mulligan and Thornton had one job.
Mulligan and Thornton must know where the Moose Skull mask is. The mask is missing. Where is it?
The dead brought back to life. The crown of the Grand Master. No mistake is never a mistake. Just get it fucking done.
They know where it is. I know they know. Mulligan and Thornton were fine earlier. How did this happen?
A terrible mistake. Shadows crept over Mulligan and Thornton. Shadows on their faces, filling the shape of them. Bright Fall's fucking finest. Shitty pastrami sandwich.
Mulligan and Thornton became like Nightingale. Mulligan and Thornton are members of the cult. Who's the leader?
Brains leaking out like milk. The thrill of domination. Not one tree. A forest. The word. A secret like this doesn't die.
There is more than one leader. Where is the mask?
We didn't bleach it. Real powdered him. The maw of the crumbling will. Show the bitch who's boss.
The moose mask is at the Huatari Well, in Coffee World. I saw something. Like I did in Cauldron Lake. The well, here in Coffee World. I know the moose skull will be there. It's here. I knew it would be. I made them show me. Now I need to bring the mask to the float. The moose skull goes here, obviously.
Alright, one item down. Now we just have 3 others to collect, which is a voice for the well, and then a fake knife. And we have a fuse that we can put to make the arm move. I forgot that we have that, but I think we need a different component as well on top of that.
I guess a toy knife will do.
while we're picking up parts for the float, we are also going to be trying to find any cold stashes
No power.
that may be
Must be a
here,
fuse
given
box
that
around
we
here
now
somewhere.
have a map that kind of points them out in both here, Watery, and Bright Falls, and Cauldron Lake. So we can go to those areas at any time after we finish our investigation here and try to see if we can pick up any parts that we missed.
A fuse is missing. Can't operate the ride without it. There we go. Now I just need to stop it in a position that will let me get to that circuit board down there. Shit! Good thing no one was riding that. A little something to get those arms moving. There's your knife.
I don't understand why they decided to
Thank
go with
God.
this laugh for the coffee pot, but I mean, if this is the laugh that we need for the well, I'm glad to rid this coffee pot of it.
Another one of those cult boxes.
Okay, I think we have everything. We have the knife, the voice cassette, the mechanism that's going to move, the circuit that's going to move the arm. We already returned the moose helmet, and we have the key for the deer stash that's over here that had the drawing of the giant coffee pot on the top of it. I missed it earlier, but walking into like the little fenced area where it is, I saw it. I was like, oh, it was right here this whole time. So let's defeat these two speedy taken, and then we're going to return the rest of the parts in and open the overlap.
Another cult stash? some creepy laughing for atmosphere? Okay, Saga. Let's get the clicker from these assholes. What the hell? Where am I?
The killing of Monica Thompson was a terrible mistake. Thornton blamed Mulligan's itchy trigger finger. Mulligan blamed Thornton's shitty pastrami sandwich. They only agreed it wasn't their fault. No one will find her corpse. We'll hide it. They fed the body to the maw of a crumbling well, like the murderous Huatari brothers did long ago. They lied to everyone. The word would never get out. But a secret like this doesn't die. It grew inside them, like cancer. The darkness taking over, filling the shape of them.
I said previously that the darkness will basically find people who are vulnerable, and being guilty is definitely a vulnerable state, especially if you are afraid that you're going to get caught and that you're going to basically jeopardize your whole entire reputation and future on the fact that you killed somebody. And instead of fessing up to it, which is what they should have done, they threw her body down a well and covered it up, which is worse. And I think you can actually find her body here in this overlap area. I came across a body that was laying in the grass with blood, and I think that that is the woman from the tackle shop. With that being said, we are getting close to the end of our video, so we're going to finish exploring the overlap in the next one, and we're going to hopefully be able to defeat Mulligan and Thornton so we can get the clicker back from them. So with that, I will see you in the next one, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye!
Deerfest floats, restaurant floats, floats shaped like things we can't show on television. Our floats are the best way to impress your friends, propose to your partner, or throw shade at an office colleague.
And we don't do just Deerfest. Our floats are a perfect gift for weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, or your kind of